Good afternoon. I am Deborah Larson, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the California State University and the faculty, staff, and administrators of California State University, Chico, it is of great pleasure that I honor you. It is a great pleasure and honor to welcome you to the 24th Annual Commencement Ceremony for Master's Graduates. We would like to thank the Mechoopda, on whose traditional lands this event is taking place. Without their support and continued positive presence in our community, we would be unable to forward the cultural and educational work that is at the heart of this event. Will you please rise and remain standing while Kyla Davidson sings the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the
Please be seated. Thank you, Kyla. Graduates, I hope you are proud of yourself. By completing your master's degree, you have exhibited the determination, drive, and dedicated focus to achieve this exceptional goal. In the pursuit of your degree, you sacrificed family time and invested energy in reading, researching, writing, knowing that the result will be innovative ideas, cutting-edge technologies, and new ways to serve the community. We celebrate you. Your family, friends, faculty mentors, and campus leaders are gathered here to honor you and to express pride and gratitude for the contributions that you have made in your field and to Chico State. You have every reason to feel an immense sense of accomplishment. Completing the master's degree is an outstanding achievement. Join me in a round of applause. You have earned it. It is my pleasure to introduce the members of our platform party. Please stand when I call your names. I'd like to introduce Dr. Gail E. Hutchinson, President of CSU Chico. Mr. Bob Linscheid, CSU Trustee Emeritus. Dr. Kevin Patton, Honorary Marshal and Chair of the Kinesiology Department. Ms. Deborah Cannon, our honorary doctorate recipient tonight. Ms. Ann Sherman, Vice President for Business and Finance. Dr. Milton Lang, Vice President for Student Affairs and Chief Diversity Officer. Ms. Brooke Banks, our Chief of Staff. Mr. Ahmed Bora, Vice President for University Advancement. And he's not here. Okay. Dr. Sharon Barrios, Interim Dean of Graduate Studies. Dr. John Unruh, Dean of the College of Agriculture. Dr. Terrence Lau, Dean of the College of Business. Dr. Angela Trethewey, Dean of the College of Communication and Education. Dr. Tracy Butts, Interim Dean of the College of Humanities and Fine Arts. Dr. Sarah Trechter, Interim Associate Vice President, Office of International Education, and this afternoon's student name reader. Dr. Patrick Newell, Dean of Merriam Library. Ms. Jackie McMillan, representing our Staff Council. Ms. Jeanette Adami, Master's Graduate with degree in History and winner of the 2018-19 Outstanding Thesis Award. Ms. Mary Gibaldi, Master's student in English and today's student speaker. I would like to now ask the faculty members who are seated behind me to please stand. Thank you all for devoting so much time and attention in guiding, encouraging, and prodding our students to succeed. Your efforts on behalf of our students are greatly and deeply appreciated. Let's one more time, students and audience, show our deep gratitude and respect for our professors with another round of applause. Thank you. Please be seated. I am happy to introduce Dr. Sharon Barrios, the Interim Dean of Graduate Studies, who will begin our program.
Thank you, Provost Larson, and thank you to President Hutchinson and the rest of the platform party. We are honored that you joined us in this celebration of our graduating master's students. We are also appreciative of your support for our dedicated faculty, including tonight's honorary marshal, Dr. Kevin Patton. Dr. Patton, would you please stand? Thank you. Dr. Patton is being recognized for his devotion to fostering the success of his students through his roles as a teacher, mentor, and scholar. Students, you'll be interested to know that Dr. Patton is a proud graduate of Chico's master's program in kinesiology. After completing a doctorate at the University of Massachusetts, he returned to Chico in the department 11 years ago and has served as graduate coordinator, associate chair, and chair of his department. He has advised hundreds of students, served on dozens of thesis and comp exam committees, published over 30 peer-reviewed papers, delivered 80 conference presentations domestically and internationally, and was awarded a prestigious Fulbright Scholar position at the University of Limerick in Ireland. It's no wonder that his peers call him an incredibly dedicated and generous colleague and mentor to his peers and students. And his students note that he truly cares about us. He clearly wants us to be successful. They say Dr. Patton takes the time to make us feel confident and supported, and that Chico is the right place for us. Dr. Patton, thank you for all that you do to support your students and your peers. Audience, please join me in an enthusiastic round of applause in appreciation. Thank you, Doctor. It's now my pleasure to introduce this year's student speaker, Mary Gibaldi. She's a master's candidate in English with a concentration in literature. Mary was nominated by her professors based on her excellent academic, research, teaching, and university service accomplishments. For example, Mary has taught 2 literature courses, presented her work at academic conferences and symposia, including at an upcoming conference in England. In her time at Chico State, she served as the Assistant Director of the English as a Second Language Resource Center, President of the English Graduate Student Council, and a speaker at the 19th Annual Women's Conference. Given these accomplishments, in combination with her original and provocative research, which intersects 20th century American literature, feminist theory, and spatial and architectural poetics, it's not surprising that she received multiple offers from PhD programs and soon will be engaging in her doctoral studies at one of them. Clearly, Mary is an outstanding student who represents well the best qualities of our graduate students. Please help me welcome Mary to the podium.
Dr. Barrios, thank you so much for that introduction. And classmates, faculty members, administrators, family, and friends, thank you for that warm welcome. It is my distinct honor to speak to you today. First and foremost, I want to mention that I never imagined myself speaking at a commencement ceremony, or anywhere else for that matter. I'm an English major, which means that by definition, I'm nervous and dislike being looked at by lots of people. I only admit this because the fact that I am on the stage right now, experiencing the privilege of speaking to you all, is a direct result of my time at this university, the confidence I gained while studying here, and most of all, the time I spent with the professors and mentors who helped me cultivate my ability to speak up, speak first, and to lean hard into my opportunities. For that and so much more, I want to say thank you. When I learned that I would be today's student speaker, after swallowing both the nerves and the excitement, I racked my brain for the perfect thing to talk about. I sat alone in the hallway of the Arts Building one evening, reminiscing about funny stories of my English cohort, some of the most poignant moments we've experienced as a campus family over the last few years, and all the reasons I'm reluctant to leave this university. But then I realized something that struck me as significant. Each of us in this room, each of us wearing these robes, has had a two-part experience doing graduate work at Chico State that I think bears reflecting upon. It has been both a shared experience and a rare experience. To me, the graduate school journey is summed up by this beautiful duality, and this is what I want to talk about today. For us, graduate school is a shared experience because now we all know what it means to navigate the academic world. And it is a world unto itself. Despite our differing disciplines, we all know what it means to read late into the night until our eyes refuse to focus on the page, only to get up the next day and do it all over again. We all understand that passing dark jokes about grad school life in order to get through the tough days is just a matter of course. And we all know what it's like to find a field of study that we love and push it higher and deeper and further, and in turn push ourselves to the brink in order to learn and grow. We understand the love of the chase. These are experiences and sentiments shared by grad students everywhere. Exhaustion, dark humor, the personal weathering and sharpening brought on by time and grit and determination. But there are also experiences we only share because we went to graduate school here at Chico State. Like what it's like to run into your professors walking their dog at Upper Park or on a date at B Street. What it's like to get to study lounged out on the lush grass under the trees or beside the creek. What it's like to know the people on this campus and their particular brilliance and specific wonderfulness. There are other things we share, though, because we went to graduate school here. And I promise I won't dwell too long on this topic because today we celebrate. but I would be overlooking one of the defining factors of this year and this campus by failing to mention it. This past November, we endured something together that was unthinkable. To varying extents and degrees, the campfire affected every single person on this campus. I lived in paradise. I lost my home that day and experienced firsthand tragedy alongside many of my friends and classmates. But it was through this experience and its aftermath that I learned the most important thing we share: our fiercely generous, utterly unbreakable spirits. The same spirits that compelled us to go higher and deeper and further in our studies also drove us to go higher and deeper and further in relationship and support of one another during our darkest times. Professors offered their couches and guest rooms for me to sleep in. They bought me books, excused me from class so I could go cry in my office, and told me over and over that I would still succeed in spite of the circumstances. My own students gave me copies of their favorite books so I could start rebuilding my collection. Needless to say, I now have several copies of the exact same books, but I won't part with any of them because the generosity behind them means so much to me. And my friends, my brilliant, passionate, exceedingly kind friends, launched into action like superheroes. They did everything possible to make sure that I walked my 2 feet across the stage today. The people on this campus helped make the unbearable bearable. And in doing so, they proved that the term campus family is not a pithy statement we throw out to sound united during big, important ceremonies like these. It is a truth being walked out at the highest levels of this university, which in turn trickles down into the day-to-day interactions of our cohorts. Of everything we share, I believe this is the most important. And after today, it is the thing I will remember most about my time here. Of all our shared experiences, not the least of which is the fact that we're all getting master's degrees today. Despite being shared by so many people in this particular room, it is incumbent upon us to recognize that this is in fact a notably rare experience. As of this year, only about 9% of American adults have a master's degree. But what does that really matter? Doing something just because it puts us into an elite category certainly is not enough reason to do it. So why does it matter that this experience is rare? Well, it puts the responsibility on us to reflect, to figure out what exactly about this rare experience is worth holding on to, worth bringing into the world. It compels us to create the value of grad school ourselves, to mine the jewels from its rough stone and pass them on to others. In order to do this, I keep a journal of important encounters in my life. When I meet someone with particular insight, after the conversation, I feverishly write down everything they said so I don't forget. Now, I could bore you with the things I studied in my master's degree, but instead, here are some things I wrote in that journal, some of the jewels I gathered outside of the classroom during the last 2 years that I think are worth sharing. First, there are 1,000 doors into every room. This means that it's okay not to take the worn path. It's perfectly fine to grab a stick and beat your way through the vines, forging your own as you go. This also means that, in the words of Winston Churchill, failure is not fatal. It's okay to trip or mess up or get bogged down with life, because you will have opportunities to come up for air, to try again and try differently, to still find your way into whatever room it is you dream of. Second, find your niche. Find the dusty, abandoned corner of your field, your job, or your scholarship, and clean it up. Make it the place everyone wants to move into. Because oddly enough, obscurity and opportunity are actually quite close together. Finally, work expands to fill the time you give it. So build seawalls around your personal life. Sandbag the shore of your rest and relationships to protect them from the swelling seas of our burned-out world. Carve out time for yourself in your life. Make sure that at the end of the day, you are still in possession of yourself. I believe there is no greater success than that, which is fortunate, because it is something over which each of us holds the power. Today, I want to remind us all that in addition to our formal educations and our newly minted degrees, the life lessons we have learned, the experiences we have shared, both inside and outside of the classroom, and the relationships we have formed during our time in graduate school are not only rare, but can be immeasurably valuable, but only if we make them so. We now possess the great responsibility to carry what we have learned here into the world, to make meaning of those classroom conversations, those late nights fueled by discipline and caffeine, the painful days as well as the wonderful ones. The work of making this experience matter begins now. I want to encourage each person in this room wearing the robes you have earned, that the world is hungry for what you will bring to it. So bring it with everything you have. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Mary, for those moving and encouraging words. You're an inspiration to us all. And now on to another outstanding student. Each year, a panel of faculty from across the university selects the outstanding master's thesis that represents the very best of our students' work. This year's Outstanding Master's Thesis Award winner is Jeanette Ray Adami. She's a History Master's graduate. Jeanette, would you please stand? Her exceptional thesis is titled Citing Divine and Human Laws, Women of African Descent and the New Orleans Cabildo, 1769 to 1800. She did original research, translating it out of Spanish. Her thesis work was guided by a dedicated committee, including Professors Tracy Butts, Allison Madar, Michael Magliari, Stephen Lewis, and the committee chair, Robert Tinkler. Audience, please join me in congratulating Jeanette. This is an outstanding accomplishment. We are proud of you and impressed by your work. Thank you, Jeanette.
It is now my privilege to introduce the recipient of Chico State's most prestigious honor, the Honorary Doctorate, which recognizes an individual for lifetime achievement and contributions to the university and community. Receiving the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters is Ms. Deborah A. Cannon. Deborah Cannon is a successful business leader, an entrepreneur, and co-founder of Lulu's Fashion Lounge. She is widely known for her innovative vision and philanthropic spirit, which extends to the Chico community and beyond. We will now hear from Ms. Cannon in this video presentation.
Good afternoon to family and friends, the professors, administration, and staff of Chico State, and most importantly, to all the graduates here today. This is such an honor to be part of your crowd. When President Hutchinson told me that I would be receiving this amazing degree, of course I was stunned. My first reaction was, why me? And please, no. There are people in the community who are more deserving. But since then, I have pondered on this honor, mostly at 3 in the morning, wondering what I would say today, but also in a very deep and profound appreciation of just what it means to receive a degree of such distinction. Recently, I was asked by someone, what religion do I practice? I paused and then said, I am a humanitarian. Someone who is passionate about kindness, who is concerned with and who gives back to their community. I give my time and money to the things that I believe will create a better world. I guess I have always been a do-gooder, but now, thank you, Chico State, for making it official. I arrived here in the fall of 1968 from Oakland. That was a year of epic events, soul-shaping and mind-blowing. The Vietnam War and the death of Martin Luther King Jr. set the tone for months of riots in Oakland, Chicago, New York, and beyond. Hippies were alive and well, protesting and dancing in the streets. The Summer of Love became a decade of social change. Those 10 years ran simultaneously with my departure after my freshman year to get married, have a baby, have a lot of alternative lifestyle adventures, and then my return to Chico State as an energetic, dedicated, single mother who graduated with almost perfect grades. We were all propelled for action then. We started CAVE, BEC, CLIC, KCHO, and the co-op. We were the first to recycle, the first to get guns off campus, the first to create the free speech area, and the ones, thanks to a small group of sociology students, my ex-husband included, who closed down First Street. Now the thank yous. Of course, I wish to thank President Hutchinson and the Board of Trustees for this amazing honor. It truly was a huge surprise. The faculty and staff who make it all happen, my 97-year-old mother who is with us today and deserves a big reward too, my girl squad sitting out there who always have my back. Here is a shout out to the Lulu's employees for their dedication and loyalty. But my biggest thanks goes to my daughter, Colleen. She is the reason for my success and the force alongside of me always. Lulu's would not exist without her genius and initiative and a work ethic beyond compare. I owe so much. But today is not about me. Today is about all of you. So please, close your eyes and think of your very favorite song. Okay, this is now our song. Whenever you hear this song, I want you to remember this day. I want you to think of how hard you have worked to get to this day. I want you to always be proud of yourself. I want you to live your best life as you fulfill your dreams or take a risk. But I also want you to think about giving back. A little or big gesture for a cause that you hold dear. We can all be humanitarians. Thank you.
I have to say that my script says for me to say, that was wonderful. You know, that's such an understatement that I'm going to interrupt the script and say, that was more than wonderful. It was so meaningful and heartfelt, and I think that we are so honored to be able to give you this honor today, Deborah. Okay, so now I'll get back on the script. So it is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Gail Hutchinson, President of CSU Chico, who will confer the honorary doctorate.
Ms. Cannon, Trustee Emeritus Bob Lynchide, please step forward. I'm going off script too. That was awesome, just simply awesome. And I had no idea that your class, you were part of the class who did so many significant things on this campus that are still with us today. So I think that is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I hereby confer upon Ms. Deborah Cannon the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters, with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto pertaining. Congratulations again, Deborah. Graduate class of 2019. Your achievements at Chico State are impressive, but you have not traveled this path alone. You have been supported by parents and family, friends, significant others, by your faculty, staff, and other students. You have worked diligently for this moment, and so have the people standing beside you. Take a minute to turn to the person to your left and to your right and offer your congratulations. Share this magnificent moment, a recognition of the years of devotion to education. Okay, now graduates, I'm going to ask you to stand, and then after the applause to sit down again, because I have to do official things. But I think with all of your family, friends, significant others, and fellow classmates who are in the audience who have stood by your side each and every moment through this degree and all of your previous education journey, please stand and offer them a standing ovation round of applause. Graduates, please. Thank you. That also helps with a little bit of a stretch. Shortly, the master's degree will be conferred upon each and every one of you. As you walk the stage and receive your master's hood, savor the moment. You are well on your way to realizing the life that you want. And now, with Dr. Cannon's advice, savor the moment and imagine your favorite song. This ceremony brings to mind a quote attributed to the former First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt. "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Take time to reflect upon and celebrate this milestone before setting out to realize your next dream. It is my hope that you will take the education you received here at Chico State and continue to live our values of excellence, inclusion, and service. Be an independent thinker, an engaged citizen. I ask you to develop your own views and voice based on your education, and to use those views and the voice to positively impact the world around you. You're joining a long line of Chico State alumni who are reimagining the world and building a future that's more just, more sustainable, more compassionate, and more bountiful than the world we know today. Throughout history, our graduates have served as drivers of change. And candidates, now more than ever, our world needs you. Your ideas and innovations, your passion, your commitment will help us to solve problems. Like, how do we feed the population expected to grow to almost 10 billion in the decades ahead? How do we protect against disease and promote mental health and general wellness? How do we mitigate and guard against catastrophic events such as the Camp Fire or other wildfires statewide? What steps can we take to live more sustainable lives and build a resilient future while working to reduce our impact on climate and on the environment? I commend you, graduates of 2019, to this task ahead. The world is yours to make better. We are immensely proud of what you have done and what you've accomplished, and eager to learn what you will do in the years ahead. On behalf of the faculty and staff at Chico State, I offer you the heartiest of congratulations. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Graduates, please stand. Candidates, by the virtue of authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you the master's degree appropriate to the course of study you have pursued with all rights and privileges pertaining hereto. Please be seated. The candidates may come forward when invited to do so by the marshal. Congratulations.
you coming? Oh, excuse me. Okay. So for the College of Agriculture, the hooding will be done by Dean John Unruh and Provost Deborah Larson. Nancy Howdegi, Agricultural Education. Thank you. Tiffany Suzette Montre, Agricultural Education. That's it. For the College of Business, the hooding will be done by Dean Terrence Lau and Provost Larson. Elizabeth Nicole Massey, Business Administration. Timothy J. Sutterman, Business Administration. Vikram Badri, Business Administration. Garrett Duarte, Business Administration. Daniel Luger, Business Administration. Gregory Dennis Coates, Business Administration. James Pierce Hutler, Business Administration. Alexander Joseph Duran, Business Administration. Christine Marie Pico, Business Administration. Robin Yant, Business Administration.
Right on, Robin.
Daniel Brian Vogt, Business Administration. Josie Ellen Ensley, Business Administration. Jess Emery Lopez, Business Administration. Dee Wu, Business Administration. Christopher Presnell, Business Administration. Matthew C.T. Fukuhara, Business Administration. Clay McNamee, Business Administration. Tanner Turner, Business Administration. Zachary David Strowing, Business Administration. McKenna Marie Caroli, Business Administration. Taylor Ashley Bell, Business Administration. Ioane Vanderlind, Business Administration. Kunal Bhavsar, Business Administration. Christine Harvey, Business Administration. Jennifer Lee Bolte, Business Administration. Carrie Ray Phipps, Business Administration. Jacob Anthony Arbogast, Business Administration. For the College of Communication and Education, the hooding will be done by Dean Angela Trethaway and Provost Deborah Larson. Tabitha Ayub, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Andrew Michael Kent, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Jordan Noelani Dagner, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Brittany D. Rose, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Cassandra May Adams, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Natalie Crum, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Hannah Marie Richardson Click, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Andrea Perez Avina, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Elizabeth Suzanne Greenman, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Stephanie Rose Ellis, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Jordan Michelle Fedelizo, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Bridget Marie Lensing, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Kelsey Camilla, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Alexandria Batista, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Sydney Carleen Moon, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Shantae Nicole Kingsley, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Monica Elizabeth Klontz, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Megan Lever, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Eliana Hernandez, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Nicole Claire Nassa, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Jessica Claire Van Ness, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Brianna Michaela Gonzalez, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Domenica Stoll, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Jolene Moore, Communication Studies. Maria Katharina Olson, Communication Studies. Rob Lightfoot, Recreation Administration. Gardenia Ariana Juarez, Kinesiology. Danielle Jones, Kinesiology. Benjamin Hauk Kaiser, Kinesiology.
Stay filming, Dad!
Cameron Riddell, Kinesiology. Zachary David Brazil, Kinesiology. Brady C. Atwall, Kinesiology. Connor Fisher, Kinesiology. Garrett Spann, Recreation Administration. Lindsay Sarayo, Education. Yang Wang, Education. Catherine Sheridan, Education. Margie Starkey, Education. Shelley Renee Grandy Betancourt, Education. Diana Para Villasenor, Education. Catherine Mahoney, Education. Carly May Garcia, Education.
There it goes.
Lindsay Catherine Jeffrey, Education. Haley Elizabeth Stevenson, Education. Elena Anberg, Education. Caroline Kelly Ledabor, Education. Karen Laura Soon, Education. Lelania Marie Little, Education. Karid Servine, Education. Gloria Godinez, Education. Elizabeth A. Ngabam, Education. Gloria Lisette Ramirez, Education. Kaylin Lumsden, Education. Catherine Volmer, Education. Corey T. Goga, Education. Kaylee Rose Myrie, Education. Haley Drew Diamond, Education. Angela Herrick, Education. Haley Mary Jean Richer. Sorry, Education. David Austin Schiltz, Education. Alexander Alves, Education. Jennifer Renee Culver, Education. Angela Renee Spring, Education. Myra Veronica Moreno, Education. Daniel Caravez, Education. Bonnie Lee, Education. Ivy Mendez, Education. Emily Dunn, Education. Kim Rigneris, Education. Julia Shirlene Martinez, Education. Kate Jaffe Ruttenberg, Education. Caitlin Ehorn, Education. Fiona Kathleen Delforge, Education. Lucero Isabel Cariel, Education. Amul Masood Khan, Education. Cecilia Romero, Education. Nancy Diaz, Education. Jera Marie Verboom, Education. Donna Paz, Education. Samuel Griffin, Education. For the College of Humanities and Fine Arts, hooding will be done by Interim Dean Tracy Butts and Provost Deborah Larson. Jeanette M. Keebles, English. Melanie Faye McLaughlin, English. Gina Marie Ray Wallace, English. Mary Ella Gibaldi, English. Jeanette Ray Adami, History. Catherine Ann Wilcox, English. Kelsey Michelle Jessica King, English. Hannah Nadine Duran, English. Hannah Camille Ellett, English. Shane Levine, English. Charlotte Letellier, English. Zeth Martinez, English. Carissa Diagelli, English. Rana Mohammed Aharbi, Teaching International Languages. Michael Meraki, History. Kelly Marie Swear Lavin, History.
Well, thank you very much, Provost Larson, and to the college deans, Dean Unruh, Lau, Trethaway, and Tracy Butts, Dean Butts, for assisting us with the hooding tonight, and to President Hutchinson and to Ms. Brooke Banks for handing out the diplomas. We really appreciate it. And to Sarah Trechter, our name reader, who did an awesome job. Thank you very much, Sarah. Audience, please join me in congratulating the class of 2019. Graduates, we wish you the best of luck and best wishes. So we've come to the end of our ceremony this evening, but I do have a couple of quick announcements. First, graduates and guests, we have arranged a reception with light refreshments in your honor in the BMU auditorium. Please join us there after this event. And also, graduates, note that the bookstore is open for you to leave your rented cap and gown if you'd like to do that this evening. And second, guests, please remain seated until the platform party, the faculty and graduates have filed out. Then graduates remain seated until you've been invited to exit your row. Thank you and good evening, and again, congratulations.